Okay, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mashiakosaurus, and tonight we're playing some Diablo 2, Lord of Destruction. This is actually two products. It is the Diablo 2 base game and the Lord of Destruction expansion. The expansion adds quite a bit and it's integrated throughout the main game. Okay. So let's see here. Let's create a new character. Now, the class selection is very different in Diablo 2. Let me turn that down a touch. The class selection is very different. In Diablo 1, you had Warrior, Rogue, and Sorcerer. In Diablo 2, Warrior and Rogue are gone. Sorcerer is replaced with Sorceress. Warrior is replaced with Paladin and Barbarian. And there's an additional magic user class, the Necromancer. And the Rogue gets replaced with the Amazon. The expansion, Lord of Destruction, adds two additional classes, the Assassin and the Druid. And so I've got to pick one of these for our playthrough. I'm definitely not going to play through all of these characters. They're just too radically different. Each class has 3 full skill trees worth of abilities that they can have, and it's a long game. In fact, I might not even stream the whole campaign for Diablo 2 because it's divided up into 5 acts, and each act is about as long as Diablo 1, to give you an idea of how long we're talking. I could do a druid. I haven't done a druid in a while. Paladin is always fun. Barbarian is good. Yeah, let's go with the druid. Now, you get 2 options down here. Expansion character, which you're going to want to turn on because that gives you access to the final act and all of the expansion materials. And hardcore. Hardcore makes it so that if you die once, your game is over and your character gets erased, making it like a roguelike. I don't recommend that you play hardcore unless you know what you're doing, and I don't know what I'm doing most of the time.
I don't think you should ever play hardcore because of one boss.
Yeah.
Unless you're the right class.
Alright, so let's talk to Wariv here.
Greetings, stranger. I'm not surprised to see your kind here. Many adventurers have traveled this way since the recent troubles began. No doubt you've heard about the tragedy that befell the town of Tristram. Some say that Diablo, the Lord of Terror, walks the world again. I don't know if I believe that, but a dark wanderer did travel this route a few weeks ago. He was headed east to the mountain pass guarded by the rogue monastery. Maybe it's nothing, but evil seems to have trailed in his wake. You see, shortly after the wanderer went through, the monastery's gates to the pass were closed, and strange creatures began ravaging the countryside. Until it's safer outside the camp and the gates are reopened, I'll remain here with my caravan. I hope to leave for Lutga Lane before the shadow that fell over Tristram consumes us all. If you're still alive then, I'll take you along. You should talk to Akara, too. She seems to be the leader of this camp. Maybe she can tell you more.
Okay. I'm actually going to save and exit real quick. And let's look at cinematics, because I forgot to play the first cinematic. This normally plays when you start up the game, but it doesn't play if you have the expansion installed.
So, Marius, at last I find you. Tyrael, yes. Yes, now I recognize you. I should have known you'd travel in disguise. They're always watching. I've been searching for you for a long time, Marius. I was rather beginning to think you didn't want to be found. Oh, forgive me, Tyrael, please. It wasn't my fault. Not your fault. Tell me, Marius, how was it not your fault? The Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer. My days at the Rogue Citadel seem so long ago. I sought refuge from my memories in the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the Eastern Gate.
Do you want something?
Oh, I fought sleep for days at a time. For when I dreamt, the memories would return. Why did I follow him? I don't know. Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned, I had to follow him. And from that moment, we traveled together east. Always into the east.
Ooh. So if you saw the end of the first game, you recognize the Dark Wanderer here. So let's go back into the game here. Now there's a lot of changes from Diablo 1 to Diablo 2. First of all, you can see that your speed is greatly increased.
Not here.
And you can run at the cost of your stamina. You don't drain stamina in town, but outside you do. The stamina kind of sucks, not gonna lie, but yeah, you deal. You have an expanded inventory. You start with just a club and a buckler. You actually have 2 weapon sets, and you can swap between them with the W key. So that's cool. Gold now has a dedicated spot in your inventory. It doesn't take up slots. And you have a private stash. You can put gold in here, and you can store items in here. You no longer have to dump things on the ground. There is a limit to how much gold you can put into this, but as you can see, it's 2,500,000 gold, and it goes up as you advance in the game. So you're unlikely to ever run into the gold limit. Tab still brings up auto map. You can see that there's some other characters. Let's go talk to these other characters.
Hi there, I'm Charcy, the blacksmith here in camp. It's good to see some strong adventurers around here. Many of our sisters fought bravely against Diablo when he first attacked the town of Tristram. They came back to us true veterans, bearing some really powerful items. Seems like their victory was short-lived, though. Most of them are now corrupted by Andario.
Okay, so she can repair our items and sells this equipment. Here we go, Geed.
Good day to you, partner. I'm Geed, and I can already tell that I'll be your best friend in this forsaken camp. A spare weapon, some gold, a small gem is all I want in exchange for the equipment you'll need on whatever quest you might undertake. No, don't be shy. All of my items are guaranteed for life and come with a 2-day warranty.
Guaranteed for life and come with a 2-day warranty. So here you're allowed to gamble. You can buy these unidentified items, and then you get them identified, and you see if the value is greater than what you pay for it. I do want to point out that we do have some items in here that are assassin only. The expansion adds equipment that can only be used by certain classes. The base game has equipment that gives certain classes boosts, but anyone can use them. The expansion adds some items that are just straight up only this class can use them.
Welcome, Outlander, to our glorious hovel. I know you're here to challenge the evil that's driven us from our ancestral home. But know this. Akara may be our spiritual leader, but I command the rogues in battle. It will take more than just killing a few beasts in the wilderness to earn my trust.
Keisha here can sell us mercenaries when we get to a certain point in the game. There are waypoints now, which give you fast travel to different chapters of the acts that you're in. And Akara here heals you and sells potions.
High Priestess of the Sisterhood of the Psychic to our camp, but I'm afraid I can offer you but poor shelter within these rickety walls. You see, our ancient sisterhood has fallen under a strange curse. The mighty citadel, from which we have guarded the gates to the east for generations, has been corrupted by the evil demoness Andariel. I still can't believe it, but she turned many of our sister rogues against us and drove us from our ancestral home. Now the last defenders of the sisterhood are either dead or scattered throughout the wilderness. I implore you, stranger, please help us. Find a way to lift this terrible curse, and we will pledge our loyalty to you for all time.
Or maybe even longer.
There is a place of great evil in the wilderness. Kasha's rogue scouts have informed me that a cave nearby is filled with shadowy creatures and horrors from beyond the grave. I fear that these creatures are massing for an attack against our encampment. If you are sincere about helping us, find the dark labyrinth and destroy the foul beasts. May the Great Eye watch over you.
Okay. So there's our first quest of Act 1, is the Den of Evil. Hey, look, there's a cow. Moo. And these are just rogue guards. You can't actually talk to them. Once you cross here, the game proper begins. We're entering the Blood Moor.
So it begins.
So one thing you will notice is that levels are much larger than in Diablo 1. Much larger. And you might recognize the Fallen from Diablo 1, but they look a little different in this game. Quill rats are a new enemy. One gold, not bad. A sash. You've got a belt slot now, and one of the cool things about that is that the bigger your belt is, the more healing potions you can put in it. So that's useful. This is a mana recharge shrine over here. We have a health shrine. We don't need to hit either of those or just yet. Quill rats shoot their quills at you. Skill shrine, but we don't have any skills, so that's pointless to us right now.
I need a key.
A locked chest. That's a new expansion, or a new Diablo 2 mechanism. You need to get keys to open locked chests. Another skill shrine. Lots of shrines here. Just general movement feels so much better in Diablo 2 than in Diablo 1. Arrows. You need arrows or bolts if you're using a bow or a crossbow, respectively. The first game, you didn't need that. You just automatically had them. Just kind of making my way around. Crude hand axe. 2 to 4 versus 1 to 6. It's probably not worth it. Damaged short sword. We'll take a look at that in a sec. Chest with nothing in it. A ring. A cap. It's better than nothing. And we've leveled up, so we get a new skill. Let's go ahead and learn Raven. And we get more stats here. Let's bump up our strength for the time being. There. Now, this damaged short sword is 1 to 5. Not worth it. Let's use the scroll of identify. Poison resist 5%. That's not that great, but it's better than nothing. Nice little stream here. Raining. Like I said, the levels are much larger than in Diablo 1. If this was Diablo 1, we would pretty much already be done with this level. Bolts. You can see when I run, my stamina drains. Oh, what's this? A little house or a barn with a moo cow in it. Loose rocks. You'll find items like that scattered around where you can pop open secret stashes for some quick loot. More arrows. They really do not want you running out of arrows. Forgot to summon that raven. Flavie, what do you got to say for me?
Turn back. I can tell that you need more experience to fight safely in the next wilderness. Halt. You should complete Akara's quest before venturing further. Search for the den in the wilderness closer to camp.
Okay. So both the Necromancer and the Druid can summon things. The Necromancer specializes in summoning hordes of sheep fairly... Buckler. Is it better than my current buckler? Defense 6, defense 4, nope. This is the Den of Evil. We will get to that in a bit. As I was saying, the Druid and the Necromancer both can summon things. Compared to the Necromancer, the Druid's summons are a little tougher. A little more durable, but he doesn't summon as many of them. Dagger.
It's locked.
Okay. This is a new mechanic. Potions that you can throw as weapons. They didn't have those in Diablo 1. Generally speaking, you're not going to want to use them. They're just not very good. Stamina Shrine. Well, this is active and your stamina is blue, you can run forever. The shrines are a lot less confusing than they were in Diablo 1. Alright, so there's the Blood Moor. Let's go take out the Den of Evil. Almost every...
So, this is where evil hides.
Yes, this is where evil hides. Almost every map has areas like the Den of Evil. Little optional mini dungeons that you can go into. I wasn't trying to... And here we have the shaman, the fallen shaman. These things will resurrect fallen. So you kind of got to take them out first. Let's get a poison creeper going. Hey, there's a key. A low quality club, and it's not worth taking. For right now, we're just gonna go all in on strength. That won't last, though. Okay. Not bad. Oh, and another nice thing, there's now a key that you can hold down to see everything that's been dropped on the floor. Diablo 1 did not have that. I don't know what I picked up there. Oh, and I've got a stamina potion. These refill your stamina, obviously. Crude quilted armor and superior leather gloves. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Low quality short bow. Let's see how the short bow looks up. Does half the damage. Those are bolts, though. So might be worth keeping around. Okay. By the way, if you're hoping for like build advice and stuff, know that I am at best a rank amateur and barely know what I'm doing. Ooh, a club. And it's yellow. I will explain the significance of that in just a second. Murder some things. Okay, so yellow means rare. Pain Gnash. At least I know it's Nash. Does enhanced damage and poison damage. That's not bad. Okay. I didn't want the low quality dagger. Rare enemy. Ah, peas. So that's another one of the differences in Diablo 2 is you no longer get game over when you die. You just have to run back and collect your corpse. Also, rare enemies in Diablo 2, unlike Diablo 1, some of them are fixed. Like Corpse Fire, I think in here is always present in the Den of Evil, I believe, or very nearly so. But some of them are randomly generated. Looks like we actually killed Corpse Fire before we died. There we go. We've cleaned out the Den of Evil.
Isn't it all?
Okay, so... what do we want to invest in? Or should we do some elemental stuff? I think I'm gonna stick with summoning. Kind of focus on making the summons better for right now. Okay. So we need to return home. We might as well use bankroll a town portal to do that. Hey, Akara, baby.
You have cleansed the den of evil. You've earned my trust, and may yet restore my faith in humanity. Your reward is training in the skill of your choice.
Okay. Let's pump up that poison creeper because he seems more useful than the ravens. And throw some in vitality.
Yes?
And we need... Oh, we don't have enough gold for scrolls of identify. I could have just done that. Attacker takes damage of 1, and it's ethereal. Ethereal is a new thing in the expansion.
My rogue scouts have just reported an abomination in the monastery graveyard. Apparently, Andariel is not content to take only our living. Bloodraven, one of our finest captains in the battle against Diablo at Tristram, was also one of the first to be corrupted by Andariel. Now you'll find her in the monastery graveyard, raising our dead as zombies. We cannot abide this defilement. If you are truly our ally, you will help us destroy her.
Sure thing. Okay, let's go repair our gear.
What you need?
Hey, there's a handy repair all button. That is added in the expansion. I think ethereal items might not be. They might be. I want to trade with her again. And oh, I don't have enough. I eventually want to buy a book of Town Portal. Books don't teach you the spell like they did in Diablo 1. They just hold a lot of scrolls, like 20 scrolls, in just 2 slots of your equipment. And now Flavie will let us pass into the next area. And there's a waypoint. Oh, there's some arrows. Saying I don't have arrows. I've got 300 of them. There we go. I thought you had to do that. It didn't let me at first. Rare leather armor. We'll definitely need to identify that. Mana, by the way, in this game recharges. comes back on its own, which it didn't do in Diablo 1. Where I'm from, it's considered rude to unkill guys that I killed. Damaged boots. Better than nothing. Okay. Oh, there's another key. I'm saving those skill shrines in case I need them later. Okay. Normal boots. Alright, let's see how the normal boots compare to... They're considerably better. I don't need the low quality quilted armor. There. Play a little inventory Tetris. So there's two new things, a gray item and a gem. Gray items are socketed, meaning you can put stuff into them to make them better. And these can be inserted into socketed items. Now, I don't want to socket up that short sword, but that's definitely something that's going to go in our stash for later. Depending on the type of item you put it in, it can have a variety of special abilities. Stop raising them. Okay. Okay. There's one exit to another area. There should be two exits on this map. One that leads to Bloodraven and one that leads to the next area. There we go. Actually need that minor mana potion. I could use a health potion. Okay. Those things look so tough, and they die so quickly. See, here's another one of those little mini dungeons, the cave. Continue pumping up the poison creeper. And let's boost our strength. Okay. Another ring. Go. Oh. Getting pretty full. Inventory side. So we'll probably head back to town soon. Some of those boulders look like ones you can smash open. In fact, why don't we head back to town? we need a little bit of inventory room to buy
Greetings.
the identify potions anyway. Alright, so that's +1 to maximum damage and +11 to attack rating. This one is +17 to attack rating. This guy is +10 to attack rating, +9 to maximum stamina, and +1 to light radius. That's not bad for this early in the game. +12% enhanced defense, +1 to strength. The enhanced defense means nothing because it's not enough to actually boost it by even a single point. 5 to 7 versus 1 to 7, but 16 poison damage. Alright, fast attack speed, increased attack speed, +1 to maximum damage, +33 to attack rating. I like the sounds of you. And lastly, enhanced defense, +5 to life, cold resist, fire resist, and attacker takes damage of 1. It is slightly worse in terms of defense rating, but otherwise it's superior, so we'll take it. HRC. Repair my equipment. Let's deposit it. And let's save some of these gems. And oh, I have a potion that I forgot to sell. Oh, because I could actually use it, so it wasn't highlighting it in the other color. Okay. Back at it. Okay, and there's another exit to the level. There we go. Key. I'll take that key. charms. So the charms are a new item added in the expansion. They give you a magical enhancement if you carry them in your inventory, rather than needing to be equipped. And there we opened a locked chest. Let's go ahead and explore the cave. Chipped amethyst. Nope. Didn't mean to pick that javelin up. Javelins are throwing items, meaning that you can stab with them or you can throw them. Those gloves are superior, but not good. There. Just an ordinary short bow, not worth picking up. A socketed short bow, that could be worth it. But only if I wanted to use it in place of my already magical short bow. I think I'll pass for right now. Light potion. And a chip food. Rejuvenation potions, they're purple in this game, they're gold. Okay, light healing potion, minor healing potion. Okay. Wasn't sure if I saw another guy. Wells like this one down here restore some health and stamina, and they replenish over time. So they can be useful resources. Okay, what's this? Down to level 2? Yep. Before we go down to level 2 of the cave, let's continue to explore level 1. I'd like to make sure that everything is cleared out before I Fanatic and champion enemies were added in the expansion, I think, and are basically like mini unique enemies. Not as tough, but you tend to fight them in groups. There are slight differences between champion and fanatic, and there's also possessed and a couple other adjectives. I don't know exactly what all the differences are. Oh, is this Cold Crow? Yep, that was Cold Crow. Cold Crow is an enemy that always spawns in the cave and is always a pain in the ass. Now the walk of shame as we run back to retrieve our corpse. Cold Crow is cold enhanced, which means that her and all of her minions do cold damage, which slows you. Okay. Well, let's use poison resist plus 5%. That's probably not worth keeping around. But also we have way too many potions right now. I will drop some as we find oh yeah, Spirit Wolf, eh? Let's take one of those. And let's bump up our vitality. Okay. I'm sure you've noticed too that potions in Diablo 2 do not heal you instantly. There's a delay. So you got to be careful with the timing on them. could be interesting, but okay. Light healing potion. The light ones do more than the minor ones. Okay. We're good. Actually, I might as well drink a potion. We've got more than we need right now. I'm going to continue dumping them as we come across loot. Okay. We are in the caves level 2. Faster hit recovery. Oh, that's lovely. Okay. Alright. Where did that light healing potion go? There. Okay. Got another light one. Okay, and that's about all she wrote. Let's zorch back to the encampment, and let's go on a selling spree.
The Order welcomes you.
I'll bet they do. +3 to dexterity, that might be worth keeping around. Replenish life +2. I do like my replenish life. Sell value 20. And thus we learn that the sell value on Qatar's, even magical ones, is so low that it's not worth picking them up at all. Okay. And money in your stash counts as money on your person. So even after you've thrown everything in your stash, you can still spend money. Alright, give me that, give me that, give me that. And there was a light healing potion. Okay. Damn. Well, I'm playing fast and loose with my potions, and that's what I get. Get my menagerie going again. Those shrines do regenerate over time, but it takes a very long time, so they're really not likely to be reusable. Like I said, the wells, on the other hand, they recharge pretty quickly. Stamina is a terrible mechanic, and I'm glad that they got rid of it in future games. Okay. There we go. And there we go. You know what? We actually need to head back.
Yes?
Because we only have one space left, and that's just enough. Leather gloves of charged bolts, or +1 to strength. Dump that. Adds 1 to 2 fire damage and 6 poison damage. It's not that great. Attacker takes damage of 1, and it's worse. Oops. +1 to minimum damage. How many do I have there? 5. That's good. That's plenty. Oh, my hooker is gone.
What can I do for you?
And I'm gonna put these rejuvenation potions in here. They're rare enough to be valuable. So now we just gotta jog our way out of here. Actually, I think there might be a little more to this level of dungeon. Nope, I did find it all. See, that still hasn't recharged yet. Like I said, they take a while. I don't know which direction leads to... How dare you be alive? I don't know which direction leads to, Ravenhead woman or whatever. So arbitrarily I'll choose this direction and see where it takes me. Stony Field, that's wrong. Just a short jog over here. Burial ground. Because I swapped my equipment out. And we'll leave the Qatar there. The wolf head is one of the druid unique items, so it might actually be worth having.
Time has passed, Lord Raven.
Okay. Let's just just wanted to run around the perimeter and get everything on the map. Okay. Now we have 2 mini dungeons, the Mausoleum, and I think the Crypt on the other side. I love these undefiled graves that we promptly defile. Okay. Now we can have a couple of wolves. We don't want our dexterity lagging too far behind. There we go. I want to know who's packing these barrels with zombies. Okay. Nothing much over there. What's down here? How are we doing on space? We still got a little more. The poison gas, exploding whatever potions, I always pick them up because they're actually worth quite a bit for being just a one size item. Taking up only one slot in your inventory. That was a lightning enchanted guy, and you want to be careful with them in melee because they absolutely will mess you up. Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem. Okay, well. Okay, I can put... I have 2 slots. Not enough.
Hello. I can hardly believe that you've defeated Bloodraven. Though she was once my closest friend, I pray that remains banished forever. You have earned my respect, stranger, and the allegiance of the rogues. I have placed several of my best warriors at your disposal.
Okay, so now we can hire mercenaries, but we got a free one, Eliza.
Good day. It is clear that we are facing an evil difficult to comprehend, let alone combat. There is only one Haradru sage, schooled in the most arcane history and lore, who could advise us. His name is Deckard Cain. You must go to Tristram and find him, my friend. I pray that he still lives.
Okay. So you can actually open her inventory and give her equipment, and she gains experience
Hello.
just like you do, and eventually gets stronger. Buckler of self-repair. Mine is better. Plus 7 to maximum stamina. That's garbage. 4 to 9 adds 1 to 3 damage, adds 1 to 6 lightning damage, and plus 30 to attack rating. This one does more damage, but only over time. Poison length reduced by 25%. Not really worth it. Okay. Let's see here. 6 to 17, 16 to 24. But again, that's mostly over a long period of time. I'll probably regret that later. You cannot give that to your hireling because she uses bows. She will only accept bows.
Good to see you.
Yes, it is good to see you. Okay. Cap, club, leather armor, and how many light healing potions do we have? 1, 2. That looks like it. Okay. We are out of here. And into the crypt. Ooh, a ring. Flavy there will use Amazon skills. I'm not sure which ones specifically or what they'll do. But she's functionally a, like, weaker version of the Amazon. Locked chests do not necessarily mean better loot, by the way. I had one there that just had boots in it. Teleportation can be a useful thing for enemies, but not if you don't use it.
I can't carry anymore.
Really? Plus 18 to attack rating. I'll take that over poison resist. And there's a healing potion. Light healing potion. Oh, another healing potion. Okay, now the wand takes up 2 spaces. Room for it.
The Order welcomes you.
Okay. Well. One, two, three, 4, 5. Self-repair. Extra lightning damage. Plus to maximum damage. You may notice that you get a lot more magic stuff in Diablo 2 than you did in Diablo 1. Faster healing recovery. No. We'll take enhanced defense and bonus to energy. But yeah, you get a lot more magic stuff in Diablo 2.
What you need?
Unfortunately, the vast majority of it is going to be stuff that you don't want. But you get a lot of it. Grab that wand. But not in public. Okay. We are done here. are in the stony field. Goatmen already. Guy kind of walks like he's got a dump brewing. There's our waypoint. I'm going to try to clear out as much of this as I can before the end of the stream. I think there's enough time to clear this level out. One of the bad things that they changed about Diablo 2 from Diablo 3 is that when you save and quit, everything in the level despawns, and when you come back to it, it repopulates with new enemies. Please have a second.
And so it came to pass that the Countess, who was bathed in the rejuvenating blood of 100 virgins, was buried alive, and her castle, in which so many cruel deeds took place, fell rapidly into ruin. Rising over the buried dungeons in that god-forsaken wilderness, a solitary tower, like some monument to evil, is all that remains. The Countess's fortune was believed to be divided among the clergy, although some say that more remains unfound, still buried alongside the rotting skulls that bear mute witness to the inhumanity of the human creature.
Interesting. So we've already got half of the quests, for more than half the quests for Act 1. Which might make you think that we're close to the end of Act 1. We are not. We are gradually getting close to the midpoint of Act 1. Refilling shrine, that's just a heal. We don't need that. How are we doing on keys? Way too many. Got it. I don't want to carry more than 12 keys at a time. Ooh, a rare dagger. Let's get the oak sage involved in this too. Okay. So the oak sage gives my minions more health. Okay. Yeah, I'll take the fulminating potion. Okay. Okay. Rock wall.
Sounds are common back home. I am burdened.
Yeah, we're a little overburdened. Hey, Kara. So, this is pretty decent, but I don't like carrying around the Grand Charms unless they're really good. Those are pretty decent, but nah. Here's an example of a wand that's got an effect that's necromancer only, but anyone could use the item. You don't have to be a necromancer. It's just that if you are a necromancer, it gives you an extra incentive. there's a reason why I'm holding on to all these things instead of using them.
Good day.
But we'll talk about that when we get to that point. Looks like the stream is almost done. But we've discovered the path to the underground passage. And that is the next area. Minor healing potion. Yeah. So next time, when we come through here, we just have to hit up the waypoint and then walk ourselves over and we'll be good to go. So that's going to do it for tonight for Diablo 2. I like Diablo 2 a lot more than Diablo 1 just because of the quality of life improvements that are made. I also feel like the plot is stronger in 2 than it was in 1. They're both pretty decent games. But I hope you're enjoying things. Let me know in the comments if you are or not. And until next time, guys, we'll see ya.